Cyclone MMA. What is going on, everybody? My name is Mason from Cyclone MMA, and welcome back to another video. Just got back home. I was at UFC 315 in Montreal, Canada yesterday, and when you make a video talking about how trash the UFC 315 card was going to be, and it ends up being as epic as it was, you got to make an apology video. So sorry to the matchmakers, sorry to Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Sorry to all the fighters on this card who absolutely brought it, because this energy in this arena was fucking incredible. It was awesome. So we're going to go through, we're going to talk about the fights. This is the first time I've seen a live pay-per-view or a live UFC event in person, and man, it delivered, especially with like these fights that I was like, these might not go great. There's not a lot of name value here. Man, great night of fights. We're going to get into it. Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena was beautiful. Fight of the night. Got the performance bonus. Had no business being this good. No one thought this was going to be this good. I think everyone thought Belal's going to shoot. Jack's going to try to keep it on the feet. Jack's going to be the better striker. Belal's going to be the better wrestler. Belal decided to throw. It seems like that was the game plan. He shot a couple takedowns, but Jack pieced him up, threw good knees, threw good punches, worked the body. Hurt Belal multiple times in this fight, but a banger. These guys went to war. These guys hurt each other pretty bad. And just 25 minutes of just a slugfest. Great fight. Jack Maddalena gets it done by unanimous decision. 48-47 on two judges' scorecards, 49-46 on the other. Wow. I can't believe that's fight of the night. Major props to these guys. Jack Maddalena now. He's going to be fighting Islam. I don't know what happens to Belal. But good things ahead. Good things ahead for both guys. An absolute banger. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot was interesting. This one was one where it was like, when it got to the scorecards, I was like, this could go either way. But it felt like Shevchenko was the better fighter. Shevchenko definitely did the most damage. If it was like a Pride Rules fight where you judge it like that, I knew Valentina had it in the bag. She had like the two clearest rounds in my eyes. But if you go round by round, there was like three really close rounds. I'm like, if a judge gives those all to Fiorot, that's a wrap on Shevchenko as champion. But Shevchenko got it done. She got the decision, unanimous decision. I don't remember the scorecards off the top of my head, but I'm going to click here just real quick to look at these numbers. Sorry that you can't see this. I'll move the window real quick so you can check this out. I'll have to move it back. Valentina landed 173 strikes out of 251 attempts. Only 72 of those significant. That's interesting. And then Manon Fiorot landed 150. 71 of those were significant. Valentina went 2 for 9 on takedowns, and Manon Fiorot went 1 for 12. I was surprised to see also a knockdown for Valentina Shevchenko. That's worth noting. I was surprised to see this fight style take place the way it did. Like, I thought Valentina is going to be the one wrestling. Manon Fiorot is going to be the one striking. Fiorot is going to have the power advantage and the striking advantage. I thought it could be close striking-wise, but I thought the power would be clearly Fiorot. Valentina landed the bigger shots, did good on the ground, but Fiorot was really going for takedowns. 12 takedowns. That's a lot of takedowns. Fiorot's not used to that. And then Valentina able to land those two takedowns and had a couple like reversal moments there. Huge. Like, didn't see that coming. Yeah, just a much different fight than I thought it was. But Valentina, man, the longevity of that fighter, the way to stay on top there. And there's good fights for her too. Like, people are talking about Weili Zhang versus Valentina. We'll talk about Natalia Silva soon, but she looks like she could be, next in line for a title shot at women's flyweight. So really solid fight there. Cool to see Valentina in person. But the French one could not get it done. Jose Aldo versus Ayman Zahabi. I'm seeing a lot of controversy here. I got to rewatch this fight to see. I guess, I don't know. I thought it was, I'm trying to remember how I scored it in my head. I think it was Aldo 1, Zahabi 2, and then Sahabi 3. Are people giving Aldo round 3? Because Aldo, so we were watching, obviously, we're watching, and it seemed like Sahabi was done in round 3. Like, I think, I don't know, was that an illegal kick? It's hard to tell. I got to rewatch the replay on that, but it looked like Sahabi got soccer kicked by Aldo. I don't know if he was a downed opponent. I'll have to check that out. But Aldo was giving Sahabi, like, the business in that round 3, and then just imploded. Just out of nowhere, you see him look at the clock, and he's like, oh, he's tired. And then he gets dropped. He gets a hematoma on his face. He gets starched towards the end of that fight. I would give that to Sahabi. Yeah, you look at the MMA decisions, like the media scorecards, and just about everyone gave that to Aldo. So that's one I got to look back on. Aldo got a knockdown. He landed 71 total strikes. Sahabi landed 109. There was only one takedown attempt by Aldo. Nothing to it. Yeah. Crazy fight. I mean, another banger, a legend of the sport, giving us the goods. It didn't look good, though. He missed weight by a lot. And Aldo doesn't usually gas like that. I wondered if there was something wrong with him. Really cool to see both guys, on their coach's shoulders, just showing respect to each other. It was cool to see Ayman Sahabi get the win, Firas Sahabi being his coach, him being a Canadian. Good night for the Canadians, by the way. I think they were 3 for 1 overall. We'll go through the people who won and the people who lost. But, yeah, Aldo versus Sahabi was a really fun fight. I mean, that last round was electric to watch in person. For Sahabi to rally like that and really finish the round strong was really cool to see. Grasso versus Silva, not the most entertaining fight of all the fights we had. Let me just ruin everything here. Let me just destroy that. Cool. I mean, Silva outlanded her. She had really, really fast hands. Was on the outside for a lot of that fight. This was not the most entertaining fight, I'll be honest. It wasn't to the level of the Shevchenko and Furo fight. But Silva's looking good. I mean, another win. A win over the number 1 ranked flyweight in the world. Alexa Grasso, the former champ. So Natalia Silva's throwing herself right in there. Probably a title shot next for her if it's not Weili. Moving on, we got Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Prepelic. Yeah, I mean, Benoit got it done. He should have. Kyle Prepelic, short notice, comes in. Was willing to throw, but Benoit able to get that arm triangle submission in round 2. In round 1, he dominated. Just took him down and did what he wanted with him. So Benoit Saint Denis got a huge pop in Montreal, by the way. I know he's French. A lot of French Canadians in Montreal, so I guess I should have seen it coming, but I'm shocked that they didn't really support their fellow Canadian in Kyle Prepelic. But moving on to the prelims, Mike MacLeod versus Charles Radke. Interesting story here. I think his name's Sean. He's a media guy for Full Send. He was the one who was kind of asking some dicey questions to Charles Radke throughout the week. He was just doing a lot of questions of asking how he's going to deal with the Canadian crowd and if he was intimidated and all that stuff. Saw him outside of the UFC, outside of the arena, and got to ask him some questions about this. Got to actually sign a Canadian flag that was for Mike MacLeod. So there's a lot of spice going in here. You got Mike MacLeod, the hometown hero. You got Charles Radke, who was talking some shit, but also defending his country. They brought up the hockey game where the Canadians booed the national anthem, and then the Canadians played in America, and we booed their national anthem, yada, yada, yada. Mike MacLeod got it done, and this was one of the biggest pops of the night for the crowd. These people love Mike MacLeod. To see him get the finish like that, the hook, and then those ground strikes he landed were vicious. That was a good win. That was a really, really good one. An impressive performance. It's probably top 15 for him again. Give him another chance. I mean, he's won 2 in a row now since his loss to Neil Magny, so we got to see who's next for him. I don't know who to give him that welterweight division, but you'd imagine top 15 after the way he's handling a lot of these guys who aren't ranked. Jasmine Jasudavicius. Great win. I mean, Andrade, I saw this one coming. I thought it was going to be a decision. It being a submission really screwed a lot of my bets up. I really was banking on Jasmine by decision, but like first round submission over Jessica Andrade. She's moving up that flyweight division too. She's a couple away from a title shot as well. Yeah, just a great win. It was really, I love seeing these Canadians win in front of their home crowd, dude. It's really cool to see just an arena full of people explode and just be super, super happy. So good on Jasmine. She got it done. She made it easy. Didn't have a scratch on her. Beat a former champion. Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. Weird scorecards. You had it 3 rounds one way, 3 rounds the other way, and then Bukauskas won 29-28 on the last judge's scorecard. There needs to be more 10-10 rounds in the UFC because I watched this fight and every round I'm like, I don't know who won that. I don't know who won that. I don't know who won that. Wasn't a ton of activity, not a ton of strikes landed. Let's take a look and see. You know what, though? Okay. Cutelaba landed 121 strikes. Only 58 were significant. No takedowns landed. 44 strikes to 58 strikes. That's more output, I guess, than I thought there was watching live in person. You know, it's tough, too, because all the fights before that were pretty good. Bukauskas wins. He's not getting a bonus off of this. But he won. Not much else to say about it. Navajo Sterling, tougher fight than I think a lot of people thought it would be for him. It looked like he was going to get a finish there at the end of that third round. But Urslan survives. Damn, Navajo Sterling landed 110 significant strikes. Landed 3 takedowns. Urslan landed 36 significant strikes. Those numbers make it seem way more one-sided than I think it was watching in person. It seemed closer. But based on the scorecards, it really wasn't really a Urslan fight. Early prelims, Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. This one was icky. Congratulations to Barriault. I mean, a huge win. Kind of got hurt there and then threw vicious elbows and then ground strikes. And Bruno Silva, I got to figure out what happened to him. Apparently he's okay. But I thought I had just witnessed the first death in the UFC, and I'm not even being, like, sarcastic. I'm not trying to speak in hyperboles here, but I thought the dude was dead. He, like, a lot of times fighters, you know, they're down and they kind of move a little bit. Oh, what happened? Stiff as a board. Marc-Andre Barriault's up, you know, celebrating on the cage. Canadians are going crazy. I'm going crazy. And then I'm like, is Bruno Silva okay? Never been knocked out, and he made up for it today, dude, because he got knocked out. There's theories that his skull was broken. There's a video floating around where you see like a dent in his head. Man, Marc-Andre Barriault's got some power. And I knew someone was going to sleep in this fight. I assumed it was going to be Marc-Andre Barriault who delivers the knockout blow. But, man, it was tough seeing Bruno Silva in that condition. Watching it live, I was like, damn, this is a brutal sport. I mean, this is dangerous. There hasn't been a death in the UFC, but, like, shit like that, a loss like that changes your life forever. So, hoping Bruno Silva's okay. Good on Marc-Andre Barriault winning in front of the home crowd. I mean, again, I know I keep saying it. Seeing these dudes win in their home crowd, sick. So sick. I'm from Vermont, so I'm an American, but I live 15 minutes from the Canadian border. I'm an hour away from Montreal. So it's pretty easy to root for a lot of these Canadians. Santos versus Lee Jong-young. Daniel Santos walking out to Thunderstruck, which was absolutely electric from that moment. I kind of was like, whatever, I'm going to watch this fight and enjoy it. You walk out to AC/DC, I'm rooting for you. Jack Della Maddalena walking out to TNT, that was electric. Yeah, let's look at some numbers here. Santos just seemed to be the busier fighter, landed 119 total strikes to Lee's 107, was 6 18 on takedowns. Had Lee hurt multiple times throughout this fight. Really good fight, though. Really solid. Really solid. I mean, that's the second prelim. Solid as hell. And then before that, Brad Katona, the one Canadian that lost on this card. Beksa Almacan, holy shit. First fight was against Umar. Had that dude on skates, lost the fight. Fights Brad Katona, a dude who's durable, just solid. Won the Ultimate Fighter twice. Not a top 15 bantamweight. Not a bad bantamweight. Starched him basically on the first exchange they had. I think Brad Katona landed a strike. Let's check here. Landed one strike, 1 of 4 strikes, and you could tell first exchange, Almacan hurt him. Goes again. It was like a shovel hook, almost an uppercut. That it might have been an uppercut that he lands and just sleeps Katona. Rough first fight for the Canadians, but the later Canadians delivered. Almacan, man, what a finish! What a finish! Excuse me, dude. I still have heartburn from the freaking beer. It's not that long ago at this point. Yeah, dude. UFC 315 was epic. What can I say? I was wrong. The matchmakers were right. This shit was awesome. A great first fight card to watch in person. I was hyped. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. You really can't. So, what do you guys think of UFC 315? How are you feeling about the results? We're not getting Ilya versus Islam. We're getting probably JDM versus Islam. Bilal's no longer the champion. I know people are happy about that. Respect to both of those dudes in the main event. Respect to all these fighters. They threw down. A lot of people got fucked up in this event. And hoping everyone goes back to their family safe. And, we can watch this and be entertained and no one dies. That Bruno Silva shit was so terrifying. That was gonna ruin the night for sure. But 315 was epic, guys. That's it. That's the message. Peace out.